boy. That was a track.
Boy
and a
or
half.
girl. Thank you.
Yeah, you take credit.
all me.
The idea of complete reinvention of a persona, because as you were saying, like Joji used to be a YouTuber with a Filthy Frank persona and all that, and I used to watch those videos, so I did, and the kind of pink guy stuff and all that, and yeah, he's just kind of flourished because now there is a full generation of people that just know him as Joji, and like that's kind of crazy to me, but I know it shouldn't be, you know.
It's interesting. It definitely feels like, I don't know. It feels like I'd say in counterpoint with that, Donald Glover. I don't, obviously loads of through This Is America, he reached almost everybody, knew him through that, and rightly so. And then I don't know, I think, you know, he's also been in The Lion King and the new Solo movie. I'd say he's someone who's actually managed to juggle the two so evenly that I don't think anyone would know him from one and not the other. I wonder if it's an executive choice that they make as to... I suppose the difference is that Donald Glover is still contemporaneously doing both, whereas Joji has literally gone YouTube, now music, and just music. Yeah, but it's a fascinating kind of metamorphosis, isn't it? Of it too.
Because it's something that I think about quite a lot with my own personas and that, and my own music. I think a lot of the time, every year, I would look at as a new blanket.
Yeah, a new blanket.
Yeah, a new blanket. I like to think of things as blankets rather than anything else. Because a blanket can keep you warm. You can lie on top of a blanket. You can roll it up. And
You can.
You can use your blanket to warm up others.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah. So when I think about people like Joji, and you know, it's been affluent throughout decades and decades of music of artists going through these different phases, and everyone having its favorite phase of an artist. You know, Bowie had them, Queen had them.
Yeah.
You know, all of them. Do you feel that you've went through a similar kind of shift? I know you were talking about earlier, you used to be a pianist, and then you kind of had the Gully persona.
I say persona. I am intrinsically Gully.
Yeah.
Like, it isn't like an alter ego or an evil twin. But I would argue that it's almost impossible when you're on a stage, particularly in like that public performance setting, to not. It's almost like you're giving an over-accentuated version of your personality. And I suppose there's an element of disparity from who I am off stage in that context. But, you know, I don't just walk down the street and I go, you know, I love you, moles, to everyone I meet.
Yeah. You said that this is the thing, people say...
Shout out moles, by the way.
The kind of on-stage persona is exaggerated. I see it as the complete other way. I think it's a minuscule version of your personality.
Oh, because it's shining a spotlight on such a unique aspect of your existence that you wouldn't see otherwise.
Yeah, like, you know, if I perform on stage, it's maybe only like 10% of who I am. Rather than it's my golden age up to hyper overdrive, Jamie. I don't think me on stage is the best or the more than the less.
It depends. It was one of the things, I don't know if they gave the exact same spiel, but one of the first things we were taught about when learning about performance on the course that Jamie and I have both gone through called Commercial Music. One of the first things they say about performers is that there are two types. You can be an introverted or an extroverted performer. And extroverted performers are such like Michael Jackson or Prince. well, arguably Prince, where it's all about the performance, and you're taking the story, the song and the story that you're telling, and you're taking it to the crowd. And then an introverted performer is obviously the diametric opposite, where you're telling a story in a way that the crowd have to come closer and have to kind of enter the bubble of their own accord. And perhaps that's just the disparity that you're describing, and that whether you're looking at a performance as being a kind of microscopic lens of a performer, or a what's the opposite of a microscope? A macro lens, a fisheye. Yeah, perhaps it's that introverted performers are only exhibiting a more focalized and direct aspect of their existence, and extroverted performers are just trying to, use the performance as a catalyst for their personality being spread amongst all. Maybe that's the distinction. You hate it, and me,
maybe.
don't you? You despise me. I did this joke last Thursday too, but what the listeners don't know is that Jamie just keeps mouthing fuck you to me when I'm talking. You're talking for too long, you piece of shit.
If that joke up, it's not going to be a joke anymore, Gully. You can fucking hear that.
They're only tuning in for me, you cunt. What a beautiful chocolate man.
But yeah, in
Yes.
terms of being a performer and what you show of yourself on stage, I see it as I'm allowing the audience to see this part of me, rather than the audience is gonna make me who I am.
I don't think the audience are informing you who you are.
I
It's
think it
just
happens.
that they, sure, in an impure case of extroverted performance, sure, where you're letting your audience inform your identity, and that's a terrible thing, and that's not entirely what I'm meaning. I'm more just that the audience fulfills, like a witch's spell. They're one of the requisite ingredients for the magic.
Okay, I'm with you now. Yeah, put some nerdy shit in it, and I'm on board. Yeah.
Get all Dungeons and Dragons with it. Very arousing.
Oh, yeah. But as we were saying last week when we did this, the first bout of
the
this,
first try.
since we're all
trial.
performers now, would you consider Paul Simon an unbelievable performer or an unbelievable songwriter, and the performances come second?
Oh, I've never seen a Paul Simon performance, so I would only ever be answering out of a somewhat ignorant stance. I know him for his studio recordings, and they would sufficiently evidence for me that he is an incredible songwriter. But I know that a lot of the songwriting is born out of woe. Particularly Graceland is pretty much a homage to his alcoholism, and whether that's why I empathically relate with it or not is a different story. But is it ever going to be the case that you're then dooming yourself, and the woes that make for an incredible songwriter are also the ones that cripple you from being an incredible performer? Obviously, that's never going to be black and white, and there'll be outliers in each situation. But
You could say, some would say, maybe a song isn't complete until it's performed.
oh, interesting. Wow, I've not heard that saying.
Because the difference between a song and poetry
Yes, yeah.
is the element of rhythm, the element of the extra factor of things supporting the words the instrumentation around the words and the feel of that within a performance environment make a song good?
Can you elaborate on that, Dr. Watson?
Okay.
I'm
Mr. Brightside is not overly a good song. However, the fact that it's been performed so much and
sure.
that everyone now relates it to the feeling of chants and being in large crowds and being involved with everyone is the reason why it still gets played to this day, in my opinion. That could be widely contradicted and people may just say, oh no, it's a great song. Okay,
You're just
fair
a
enough.
Killers hater, man.
Yeah, but
You're just a Killers hater.
no, I enjoy the Killers, but I think that is definitely not their strongest song by any means.
No, arguably their worst. Whew. I'll say it so you know.
There you go. But do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that the song wouldn't be complete were it never performed. I would just say that it's had the good fortune of being amplified and propagated into spaces where it's been accepted more than it would have as just a studio recording on account of that.
But then would you say when is a song finished? Is it when the last word is written and the last beat is written down, or when it's recorded?
Well, you see, my boy, a song is never truly finished.
Oh, fuck off with that. Get out of here.
Who let this old man in? That wasn't even me. A homeless man just came in here, took a glug of my cider, and took the mic out of my hands. He's actually very wise. I might keep him along, but he seems to annoy Jamie, which is,
a love of yours.
evident. Yeah, he's my bit on the side, and Jamie's loathing of him is just evidence of Jamie's champagne socialism. But I mean, that is what it is. No, art's never finished. Art can, as you say, art can take on new forms depending on the medium that it's being played in, for one. And there's nothing to say that they couldn't release an acoustic version of Mr. Brightside. It's the same art. It's the same poem being orated, to use that metaphor, but it's being told in a different way. And needless to say, fucking, I don't know, Gorgoroth could cover Mr. Brightside and it would be a very, very different song. But it would still be the same source material. I think a song is only ever finished when, you record it and then lock it away in a vault somewhere, and it never truly sees the light of day. Because as soon as you said before, when talking about a possible paradigm existing between an artistry and self-confidence and unhealthy self-assessment, as soon as you release something into a public forum, you're unlocking the door for it to be constantly transmutated and subject to infinite permutations. You're as opposed to locking a room with a key, you're locking it with a padlock that has endless numbers and endless combinations that will open the lock. The worst lock ever, but I mean, hopefully there's nothing in the room. Hopefully it's just an old man spouting pearls of wisdom about terminality and art.
Is still crazy after all these years. He's St. Paul.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
If you've got a feeling that you can't put into words, don't worry, friends.
Because there's a song for that.